99, 100. Woo! Okay, I didn't really do 100. I lied. I want to talk to you today. Oh, by the way, this is Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. I want to talk to you today about telling the truth. And I'm going to talk to you about lying. It seems especially appropriate to me right now because this is, in the United States, election week. And if there's ever been a passel of people who are having difficulty telling the truth, it's people who run for office. They make outlandish promises, they make outlandish claims, they make outlandish fill in the blank. But truth-telling is something that's not only a problem in politics and the gym, it's also a problem in everyday life. I got an email from a friend of mine who said, would you talk about this in a video thought for the day? Because as she pointed out, it just seems like the truth is hard to find anywhere. That people have decided it's okay to lie. And actually, people lie a lot. We lie to each other. We lie to ourselves. I dare say we lie to God. And yet, if you ask someone about the nobility and the rightness of being honest and forthright and straight and true, they will say, oh yes, it's certainly a virtue and it's certainly to be pursued. And yet, for some reason, it just seems to be a struggle. And some people more than others. This is not something new. This isn't a 21st century problem. Jesus pointed out that there were people lying in his day. In fact, he said that their father was the father of lies, referencing Satan in the Garden of Eden. It goes back as far as Genesis, where Satan lies to Adam and Eve about the effect of stealing from God's tree. What is it inside us that brings up this need to lie? Oh, I'm sure for some it's pathological. They just seem almost wired that way now at this point in their life. Some are so caught up in a web of lies that I'm not sure their mind even knows the difference between truth and a lie. But I'm talking about everyday people who know that they ought to be telling the truth, but seem to stumble into untruths. As I try to filter through this and think about it, for me, it seems a lot of it boils down to whether or not someone's got a bedrock faith in who God is and how God has made this world. See, I think a lot of people lie because they either want to seem important to someone else, and so they might exaggerate, they might fabricate, because they're not satisfied in faith with who God made them and where God has placed them in this world. They don't sense that value before God. I think other people may lie because they think the situation dictates it. They think that God can't be relied upon to work things out to the end that ought to be there, absent a lie. So this lack of faith in God's jurisdiction and interest and ability turns into a need to become God and orchestrate the result through lying. There's got to be a host of reasons why people lie. But let me tell you what I want to do this week. I want to concentrate on being meticulously honest. Now, that doesn't mean that if my wife says to me, "How does this look on me?" that I'm going to say to her, "Well, it's a bit," fill in the blank. But I don't need to lie. I gotta find some creative ways sometimes to express things, but we need to do it with honesty and integrity. I will tell you, all points aside, my wife asked me once recently, what do you think about this? And I did say to her, maybe this was a mistake. I said, do you want me to tell you what you probably would like to hear, or do you want me to tell you the truth? And she said, I want you to tell me the truth. And so with kindness in my heart, I said, well, I think maybe you should change from right here to right there. And I don't remember if I was right or wrong. I don't remember what she did. I just remember that interchange and her thinking through it and appreciating the fact that I had been honest with her. Now, I'm not sure where all of this lands me at the end of the day, because I'd like to pretend I was in the gym in coat and dress shirt on 100 bench presses, but I wasn't. I wasn't even at 99. I only did the one for the video. Now that I've been honest, this is your video thought for the day. I'll see you tomorrow.